Hey guys, StarCraft here, and you know when I take glasses off, I'm getting more serious. What's been going on lately here? What I mean by that is, look, I'm not happy about all this shit going down. All the stuff with, okay, sorry. All the stuff with the pros and going after Cecil, Dynamite, all that stuff. This Whisper Network, everything is just so bad, but I gotta say this. This whole community doesn't feel fun anymore. Not for comics. I know what some of you are gonna say. Hey, Robert, what do you mean? We're still talking about comics. We're still pushing other people's books. No, not exactly. What are you guys actually talking about? You're talking about promoting comics. That's all you do. You either talk about drama or you promote comics. I rarely ever see anyone else talk about the good old days, what comics mean to them, what comics these characters mean to them. Why were they fans? Why did they read them? Why are they so mad about it? They're just so mad now about because of the political reason, or why are they doing this to this character? Which is what's led to multiple occasions of people just immediately assuming, they turned this character gay, or they did this to the character. It's completely out of character for them. And if you're like, have you paid attention at all? Or are you guys just simply assuming the absolute worst because it fits the political tribe you guys are going with? Because there's so many times lately, okay, I can't, none come to my mind right away, but I've seen cases of people who have just taught, once they make an announcement, everyone's like, they're woke now. And if you look, you're like, guys, I know about this with this character. And this, if you look back, actually makes sense. They don't listen. And it feels like people don't want to even know. Like, it's like, do you guys even know much about the characters? Now, I know some people are going to say, Robert, you can't expect them to know everything about the backstory. Maybe, but if someone calls them out on it, they shouldn't then be all pissy saying, no, it's still woke. They should be like, oh, okay. But of course, you have the out there fan, and most majority of their commenters are just as outraged. So of course, they're gonna peddle and cater to those people, unfortunately. And it's like, again, it's not fun anymore. And what's worse, I cannot say I'm still a fan of a creator. I cannot say I still separate art from artists without being told, why are you supporting them? Why are you doing this? Or like, I'm still buying. I just dropped Wonder Woman. I made a tweet about that. Good God, it would have to have been someone like Tamaki to get me to drop it. But not because it was horrible, but because it was boring. But the fact is, though, you needed something like that to get me to drop it. But it was because of the quality of the book. Even Bendis, I'm pushing through because I won't say it's boring. Also, because I care about Superman more so than Wonder Woman by comparison. I openly admit. Superman I've been collecting for a lot longer. Wonder Woman I only started collecting since issue 600. So, and Batman just about as long as Superman. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to drop it. But the fact is, I see people out there, certain big names and in comics even, being completely baffled. Like, why are you still buying the books when these pros don't like you and insult you? Well, for one, I've rarely been insulted personally by people. Actually, to be fair, there's only been one pro that's actually treated me badly, and that's John Layman, of course. But there are 3 people in Comicsgate, I'm not going to name names right now, but now it's gone up to 3, it used to be 1, but now it's gone up to 3 who have done me wrong and made it personal, and I refuse to support them. No, it's not any of the big names, it's not Ethan or Doug or Mike or any of those guys, no. Someone more lower tier, but again, I'm not going to say who. But the fact is, I was backstabbed by them. And it feels like, I'll just finally say it. It feels like the community has become opposite sides of the same coin in many regards. It feels like there are so many people in this community, CG or otherwise, whatnot, but are not in the mainstream, who want to go out of their way to be all, you gotta support only and maybe not even say, they might even not go as far as saying only Comicsgate. That was more of a war campaign, and thank God they're gone. But it feels like and what they set up still remains. Because it feels like you still cannot be a fan of the mainstream. Because, okay, I just realized I went off topic. Let me rewind a minute. Sorry. When I said about, and people are sometimes confused, why do you still support them? Because I love the characters. A lot of people love the characters. They know that give it time, it'll eventually get back. Again, they'd have to really fuck it up to get people to drop it. And I'm one of those with a high tolerance before I drop it. And yet, there are some people in CG who are completely confused, like, why? Why are you doing it? Again, were you guys ever fans of comics? Yes, I get it. There are those who are disheartened. But those people should still at the very least be like, hey, I dropped it, but if you want to keep doing it and throw your money away, if you want to go that far, go ahead. And then go ahead and do it. But I don't. I see more people now who are like, you guys are part of the problem. You are part of the problem because you're supporting them. Yeah, I did have one big name commentator say that to me and yet to apologize for that one. Again, not naming names, but still stung when he said that, saying that I'm part of the problem. See what I mean? I'm getting so many people who are, and yes, I know people are going to say, oh, they've been pushed to this point. No, you do not get to that point by just, oh, they broke it. Like, that you're still going against some of the key parts. And the thing is, no one, like I said before, no one is into comics. Not really. They're into promoting theirs or other people's books. They're into the drama from the other channels and from the mainstream stuff and everything. But when it comes to actually supporting the books, because here's something else I've noticed. When these crowdfunding books come out, how many people actually then talk and gush about it? Aside from, look at the artwork. Hey, I got it. I'm sorry. Just saying, hey, I got it, showing a photo. Hate to say this, but that reminds me of the virtue signaling SJWs who hold up the big number ones of Spider-Woman or whatnot, or America Chavez, and saying, yay! And of course, in their case, they don't buy the next one, but I don't see anyone else go further than that. They don't say why they love it, whatnot. I've noticed that I am one of those few who go out of their way and review on a regular basis all the books that I get that are crowdfunded. I make sure I find some time to review them. At least one I'm still trying to get to, but that's because it's a really thick book. I'm sorry, all right, Eric. I'm sorry, I'll get to it, but and the Flying Fortress. But again, I don't see many people explain why. And then before you know it, they're done talking about it, and they're immediately getting ready to promote the other one, or hyping people up, or jumping onto another campaign. It's like, what can we talk about? Oop, no time. Gotta go talk about this one now. But I found this interesting. Yeah, that's nice. Let's go promoting this book now. We gotta get them up to another 110,000 and 10,000, 15,000. We gotta make sure we have $10 million in Comicsgate. Do you guys listen to yourselves? This is my point. And you guys, there are so many of you out there I've noticed who seem to be convinced that if the comic book community, mainstream comics go under, you guys will be the last one standing, and everyone that's in the outside will come in. No. Why? Why would they? And it's like, because there's nothing really here that really strikes an appeal, and no one is talking about the books, explaining why they should. Now, granted, you have just as much on the pro side or the anti-Comicsgate side, because I dealt with it a little while ago, being willing to just simply say, oh, he promotes it, he has no taste in comics. I get that. But we're not trying to convince them. I think people have lost the plot on that. It's not a matter of trying to convince the antis or even the pros. It's a matter of convincing the vocal and the silent majority. Have you guys forgotten that? Because I hate to say this, and can I say this as a person who's had a step foot, who's only had a foot in Comicsgate, has not been full on Comicsgate. There's a reason why I've never gone full Comicsgate, and I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of others who probably considered it, but then backed out. There's probably also people who were in Comicsgate who have dropped out. I don't know. But the fact is, you guys do not represent the majority anymore. At least, maybe in a vague sense, but not in the full-on sense of the words. Because you guys just want to keep on promoting yourselves and pushing out books that I really gotta say, again, as much as I've enjoyed them, I really get a early Image 2.0 vibe. And I mean that in a way of like, who cares about when the books come out? Who cares about this? Who cares about that? Like, as long as the books are out and they look nice, that's all you care. Like, who cares about great story and everything? Again, I'm not installing stories on everyone. I'm just saying it just gives that vibe of just slap it out, push it out, and it's a creator-owned work, and then that's it. And again, people just talk about the fact that it's out. I don't see much people that talk beyond it. People might talk about how cool Cyberfrog looks, but I don't really see anyone try to dissect and discuss the story. I don't see anyone trying to do that with Jawbreakers or whatever. Because you've had for years of people wanting to dissect Superman, Spider-Man. Even in the early days, people still found a way to relate to the characters. But at the same time, you have people these days who just don't want to do, don't even care anymore. And it's like these people, like I said, they don't care, or I wonder if they ever did, I'll be perfectly honest. Again, not naming names, I'm not saying everyone, but there's a good number of people when I see the groups out there who I just question. Because again, it does not feel fun anymore. It feels fun under certain stipulations, but those stipulations have nothing to do with comics. Not in the way that it used to be, I mean. It's like comics in the vaguest sense. Comics in the, again, where'd I put? There's more comics in the, hey, look what I've got, selling my books. I'm just throwing out in general the crowdfunding books. It's like, see, ooh, shiny, ooh, thick books, ooh, tiny books. Again, just doing it as an example, but again, it feels like that's what it is. You're promoting the artwork, you're promoting the end product, but the end result product, and the fact that you're making it. But you guys are not really selling on characters. You're not, and again, once it's done, it's move on to the next one already. Let's get ready to hype up for the next one and all of that. Yes, I get it's a consumer movement. But again, you're just targeting specific consumers that are willing enough to wait because they are big fans of the personalities, but they're not doing it because of the characters. And again, in the end, unless someone able to come up with characters that other people can use, these things are only going to last as long as the creators are involved. And they're not going to be involved forever. You all know that. And when that happens, and if CG is the last man standing, then you know that once they're gone, no one else is going to really pick up the baton, and then it's going to just fade away, and then comics as we know it will be gone. There's no way of Comicsgate. They're just going to rebuild everything up to where mainstreams are. That's never going to happen. Never. You've had Marvel and DC, the ones that have been keeping it going, both because of business practices, but also because they had characters that people were beloved, people loved and adored and recognized and remember. You think Superman or Spider-Man or Captain America or Batman, you think of those and you know about them, and you think back, when I was a boy, I read it. Now again, I know that's being thrown out the window. I know some of you out there would rather things just not, people just, it's like, oh, I supposed to see them die. Well, if that's how you think, then again, yes, you could say that's a fan who's been disillusioned. And for some, it probably is. But for others, I really gotta say this, I'm more hearing, I don't want the competition. I'd rather them be gone so I can come up with my own version and fill in the void. That's what I think. For some. Again, for some, not all. And I just really wish things were just back to being fun, where you can actually talk about comics, current, whatever. Didn't matter because of the creator involved. Because that's the other thing is, both sides are like, oh, this person's associated with them. Oh, they're just as bad. oh, this person's mainstream. All the mainstream people, unless they do this and that, are bad. And I'll say this. I've at least talked to a few pros out there, and at least one or two have told me that they've actually had dealings with Comicsgate that were not flattering in a, oh, I might do a crowdfunding, and then what happens? Do it now, do it our way. No, I'll do it. I'd rather not be associated with you guys. I'd rather, oh, well, you'll get more money. Oh, it's like, guys, let the people make their own choice. And it doesn't mean that that was joining with CG. Because I gotta say, and again, I am not saying this about everyone, but there's a good number of people out there who feel like they want to make sure people join CG, not because it will help them out, but because they want the clout for CG. That's what it feels like anyway. Again, not going to name names. And again, this is more, I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying the vocal, which leads me to my last point. And this has been the biggest problem with CG as a whole. Horrible optics. I'm sorry, but that's true. And it's like, people, you guys expect CG to be able to, again, outlast. But at the same time, you don't care about what people on the outside think. Because as far as you think, they all believe you guys are a hate group. Yes, there's a many people out there. But you guys got to think about this. There's a lot of people out there who don't take the time to look through all the details. Be them pros or more likely the silent majority. There are people out there who only know so much. And when you guys start to act, and even if you're joking, you start to act in ways that kind of confirm what the one side is saying about you guys, you're going to give that impression. And again, he's like, we don't care, we're doing our own thing. That's fine if you want to just be your own self-contained little island out there. But if you want to actually get bigger and grow more and more, and yes, you can say there are pros out there who's going to make sure you stay down. Yes, okay. But at the same time, there have been cases in the past where I've observed that made me grow like, really? You guys are going and doing that? And again, you guys keep on feeling like it's a-okay to do it, or what's good for the goose, or whatever your reasons. But you start doing stuff that eventually comes back to bite you guys. But when it comes to bite you, you guys then act like, why is it biting us, or whatever. And yet at the same time, you guys could feel you can, it's like, how dare they say this to us? But you guys feel you have free reign to say this stuff to them. Again, where does that logic make sense? And like I said, the optics for CG, unfortunately, I feel so far gone that it doesn't matter what happened anymore. People are going to associate CG, maybe not, okay, being a hate group is wrong. And I agree with that. Okay, I know you guys are not a hate group. I know that. But at the same time, though, past actions, stuff that, again, it's that notion of you sprinkle a little bit of truth in a lie, people will believe the whole thing. And unfortunately, you guys giving them enough truth to sprinkle in for them people then to take it to the worst extremes and see you guys as that. And again, you guys never have not cared about it. Perfectly fine. But at the same time, then, you should then realize the consequences that are going to come from that. And I've been saying this for a long time, but no one wants to listen and no one ever will. I know. I know. No one ever cares about what I have to say. I'm just saying this just to get it out, and I feel I need to make a rant. Now, hardly anyone's going to watch this video. I know, my views are going down the toilet. No one really pays attention to what I say anyway, and then I end up always being wrong. Whatever. Fact is, I just felt I'd say this, get it out of the way and tell you why this is being more and more depressing. It's like I said, it doesn't feel fun anymore. It feels like if I didn't have one or two other people I talk with, then I would be completely disillusioned with everything. And I don't mean just mainstream, I mean all comics. I feel like I have no one to talk to about this. No one's interested. No one wants to talk about it anymore. What few there are, you gotta try and keep it quiet and hush hush. Or even if you do it, people are then gonna ridicule you for saying it, all that stuff. And again, I'm saying ridicule from both sides. Fact is, it's like everyone has just stomped their feet in the ground and they're just saying, this is my side, you're on that side. You have all the people who are in between the two extremes because, and that are saying, because CG used to represent those in the middle. But now it's become so far its own extreme that those in the middle, they still think they have to represent everyone in the middle. And they might represent some, but not all. Not anymore. Because again, they're choosing to distance away from talking about fun times in comics. Fun things to talk about in comics. Instead, just want to focus, like I said, drama or prepping up and promoting other books. Can you guys prove me wrong on that? Because I really don't think many of you can. Again, there might be some out there like Captain Frugal and all that. I get it. But just because you name one or two doesn't mean that makes it okay for everyone else when you have the vast majority doing the opposite. And when you also have the people who are just on Twitter who have shown that they've changed or given up or whatnot. As long as you guys keep doing that, it's not the problem is going to still persist. And that's the other thing I've noticed. It's like, so long as we have one or two that are still good people, we're fine. No. When has that ever been okay? In any regard. You guys can't ever accept it when there's some good pros out there in the industry. You still say let it all burn. And yet, oh, it's fine for us to have only one or two that are legitimately good people. Again, where does this, this rules for thee but not for me come from with you guys? I can go on and on, but I basically said my piece. I asked someone else to record their own piece at the end, and if I do, it's going to be after this. If not, something fell through. I'm not going to say who, but yeah. If regardless, enjoy what they have to say, or see you on the next video. But until then, I will do another video. In fact, I have one talking about Tom King and Brian Michael Bendis that you might all find interesting. Until then, I'll catch you guys later.
Ow, I just hit my knee. Okay, so StarCraft wanted me to do my own little thing about how I feel Comicsgate is doing. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't think it's doing that good lately. There's just been so much infighting, and while I do enjoy a good fight, I don't think a platform should be made up of just fighting and people that love a good row, you know? I also don't think that our public image is really the best lately, considering, you know, all the fights with War Campaign and other things like that. And I know, you know, when we go for something, we go hard, and we go hard. But it just seems like lately there hasn't been the fun part to balance out the fighting, because we used to have a lot of fun. We used to do a lot of art stuff. We used to like uplift our artists. And now it's like, oh, hey, here's this new campaign. Somebody talks shit about it. Oh, fight, 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 fight. Oh, wait, hey, here's the new campaign. We've got this new campaign. Show it off. Fight, 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 fight. Protect, protect. New campaign. And while I'm glad to see that there's so many awesome new campaigns coming out, I just can't help but feel kind of sad that there's no more fun out there. I mean, there may be some fun stuff out there, but I'm just not seeing it, maybe. But that's my 2 cents. I want to have fun again. I want to play. I want to be able to talk and laugh with everybody instead of having to fight with over here and fight over there. And you know I'm good for a fight. You know I'm good for a fight. But sometimes I just don't want to fight. And it just seems lately like that's what it's become. Just a big fight. I'm not saying I don't love it, because I do. I love all you guys. I'm CG's sad mom. But seriously, don't make me turn this video around, because I will. Don't you make me mad. You won't like CG mom when she's mad. So go back, have some fun, and keep it lit. CG Sad Mom signing out.